Okay, so this video is going to go through finding the square root of big numbers. So ultimately, you want to find the square root of 22,500 is the example I want to show at some point. But first you need to know what a square root does and how to work with indices. Okay, so we should know that the square root of 49 is 7 because the number that multiplies by itself to give 49 is 7. Okay, similarly, square root of 441 is 21 because 21 times 21 is 441. Now, you might not be able to see the square root of 441 is 21 straight away. So, you might be able to see that it should be higher than 20 because 20 times 20 is 400. Okay, so you would 20 times 20 is 400. So the square root of 400 is 20, so you'd think that 441 is bigger than the square root of 400, or bigger than 20. So you can think of it like that, but we can also set up a little procedure which involves either factor trees or breaking down numbers into products of prime numbers. So if I look at the number of 441, okay, how do I split this number up? Well, I'm going to choose to do a factor tree, and I know with my divisibility tests that if the sum of the digits add to something that's divisible by 3, then the whole number is divisible by 3. So that means I can split up 441 to be 3 times something else, and if I don't know how to do that off the top of my head, I can do a little short division or long division. So how many 3's go into 4? 1 with 1 left over. How many 3's into 14? That's 4 with 2 left over. How many 3's into 21? That's 7. Okay, so 441 can be written as 3 times 147. Alright, then I need to split up my 147 further. That can also be divisible by 3 because 1 plus 4 is 5 plus 7 is 12, so 12 is divisible by 3. So I can split that one up further to be 3 times something else. Okay, so if I can't see it, let's do short division again. How many 3's into 147? 0, 4, 2 left over, 3 times 12, that's 2 left over. 4 goes in, 2 left over. Yeah, okay. And how many 3's into 27? The answer is 9. So that means I can write 147 as 3 times 49. Alright, then I should see that this is a perfect square, and that's 7 times 7. Okay, so what does that mean? It means that 441 could be written as 3 times 3 times 7 times 7. And how can I use this to find the square root of that number? Well, I know that the square root is some number, square root of a, say, is some number times the same number that gives me back a. Okay, so 441 could be written as 3 times 7 times 3 times 7, and I see that those are the two numbers that are the same. Okay, so that means the square root of 441 is 3 times 7. That's 21, because 21 times 21 gives me back 441. Okay. Now, the reason I can rearrange the order here is because of the commutative law with multiplication. Okay, that just says that if you multiply numbers, the order doesn't matter. 2 times 3 is the same as 3 times 2. Okay, or 2 groups of 3 is the same as 3 groups of 2. Okay, so the order doesn't matter. So let's use that idea to answer this big one up the top. Okay, so we want to find the square root of 22,500. Okay, so if I know that 22,500 can be written as 2 squared times 3 squared times 5 to the 4, I could write that out more fully as 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. Now ultimately what I'm trying to do is trying to find two numbers that multiply together, which are the same numbers, that give me back 2250. So if I understand indices and I understand the commutative law, then I can find those two numbers. All that needs to happen now is I just, group things together. So there's a 2 there, there's a 3 there, and there's 2 5s, and then there's a 2, a 3, and 2 5s. So ultimately, I want to get the same number multiplied by itself. So I'm looking to group things together so that they're the same. So that's my first number, times 2 times 3 times 5 times 5. That's my second number, and they're the same. Okay, so 22500 can be written as that. So what does that mean? Well, it means that the square root of 22500 is that amount, whatever that is, 2 times 3 times 5 times 5. So that's 6 times 25. Which is 150, pretty sure. Yeah, so that's my answer. Okay, so the square root of 22500 is 150, and the reason is because 150 times 150 gives me back my number. Alright, and that's the video.